We're live. Hello.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome back.
Welcome back to Marx Library Live. So we took a break last week.
Yes. What were we doing? Work.
Doing our jobs.
One of us wasn't here.
I can't remember exactly
Anyway,
what happened.
we were somewhere doing something ridiculously important.
Because he was assessing those speeches. I can't remember.
I think that's, I don't know.
Something was going on.
Something. Anyway, but we're both here today. In spirit and in body.
And mostly in body.
Mostly body, less in spirit.
And I know you are overjoyed to see us.
Yes. So we should probably say who we are.
Right. I am Stephanie Eversard. I'm the social sciences librarian here at Marx Library. You look fabulous.
Thank you. I should have looked at my hair before I came on here. I'm Beth and Stephanie. I'm the Arts and Humanities librarian here at the Marx Library.
And we're hair's not so awesome either.
No, it's great. It's the weather.
Yeah.
We're coming to you live from the Learning Commons downstairs.
And it's much quieter in here than usual.
Because we're going into Turkey Day. Right. There's a couple people on here. Look at that.
Waving at us.
Okay, so because we are going into kind of the
stressful part of the semester, you just say it. Just say it.
Stressful part of the semester. We thought we would address today, we would kind of do like a mailbag episode where we address some of the student comments
that are left in our suggestions box.
Yeah. So, before we start that, maybe we could tell students about the suggestion box and then also maybe give them some alternatives to paper.
Yeah.
So, if
on
y'all
the
are
first floor of the library, we have a
paper.
little box where you can anonymously leave a suggestion. And that's a great way for students to kind of express their thoughts so that us know who they are. But it does have some limitations.
Yes. So, like, imagine, a lot of times, and some of these we'll talk more about when we actually get to them, but sometimes we want to follow up on some of the concerns, right? So if that's the case and you feel comfortable giving your name, which you should always feel comfortable because there will be no, like, repercussions.
Yeah.
Like, we'll be like, thank you. Then one option would be to direct message us here on our Instagram.
Right.
So Stephanie or I would get that, and then we would appropriately kind of handle where that goes from there. So just know that, like, that's an option if you feel comfortable with identifying who you are. You can also email concerns to Stephanie or me, and then we'll, again, kind of get those to the right person if you feel comfortable.
Right, and then that enables us to figure out maybe exactly what's happening and how we can
best solve the problem, because that's really what we want to do. And I guess we should backtrack and say, like, first and foremost, we want the library to be a really useful and pleasant space for our entire student body. And our faculty, but like our entire community, right? So whatever, that's our goal as a library, and everyone that works here feels that way.
So if you do not feel that is the case, then please let us know what is happening.
Yeah. And we'll get to some of that kind of in these. Okay, so let's go with the first 1 and 2, which are kind of the same. One is to be open 24/7, and the other is to please open 24/7.
Okay, so we get this a lot. Students really want to be in here all night and all day.
I mean, we get it.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best place to be.
Right.
But there are reasons that we are not open 24/7, and the reason is not that we hate you.
We like you.
We like you a lot.
The reason is that we have evaluated kind of our resources that we have, and that means staffing, really primarily staffing, resources that were given by the institution to staff the building, right, and keep it open. And at this time, we have a limited amount of resources, and we cannot staff 24/7. We do really make data-driven decisions about when we are open. So I guess maybe first we should say that.
So yeah, you might notice that we do have extended hours and we're open longer going into finals than we are earlier in the semester. And as Beth said, that decision was based on the usage of the library. So we keep numbers of who's coming in here and, when they're using the library. So we're able to see, are students using it at 1 a.m. early in the semester?
No, they're not, because they're not here, right? They're not even here when we close. So what makes you think they'd be here at 1 a.m., right? So we are doing the best we can with the limited resources that we have, and that we try to allocate the times that make the most sense, right? My suggestion to you as a student body is that 24/7 is really, really important to you, and you feel like it's something the university should strive for, then you need to vote with your feet, which means be in here when we close, right? If there are 300 students in the building or 150 students in the building when it's 1 a.m., that's a big impact.
Yeah, sends a strong indication that you really do need the library to be open at that time.
So we understand your concern, but at this point, it's just not a feasible allocation of resources based on the data that we have. Okay.
All right. I think that addresses that one. Hopefully.
This is one we get all the time.
So students are always asking for more study rooms, and we do have study rooms on every floor of the library, and they fill up really quickly.
Especially now,
and in the upcoming weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Next week is going to be a mess.
Yeah, like fisticuffs.
And so students are
frustrated.
Yeah, I think that's a good word when they can't find a study room. So what can we do?
Okay, so
can we bust down some walls and make some more study rooms?
Okay, no. We wish. We just know that, again, this is resources, right? There's only so much space in a library, and we're doing our best to allocate the space that we do have in ways that make sense. So, study rooms are first come, first serve, right?
So some practical advice: show up early.
Remember that they are intended primarily for group study. So during finals week, please don't study on your own just because you feel like you need a quiet space. The third and fourth floors of the library are completely quiet, so you should.
If you're in a group and you see someone studying in a room by themselves, then you can let somebody know.
Yeah, let someone at any of the desks know.
And we'll politely ask them to leave.
Yeah, don't do it, we'll do it. Yes, but just remember that you don't necessarily have to have a study room for study. I know that seems weird, like kind of a weird thing to say, but if you're in a group and you're worried about disturbing other people, don't worry about it. The first and second floors are intended for group study, so find a table in the Learning Commons. Find a table on the second floor.
Right, and you're allowed to talk and be noisy and collaborate. That's what we want you to do.
Right, of the second and third floors. Also remember that the third and fourth floors, like I said a second ago, are completely quiet. So if you want quiet study, it doesn't necessarily have to happen in the study room.
Right. Yeah, so like Beth said, if you're isolating yourself because you need quiet, then the third and fourth floor are places where you can get that.
Yeah, so again, it's limited space, right? We would add a whole tower of study rooms on the side if we could, and they'd fill up. It's just kind of the way it is. So that's the study room one. This one's one of my favorites.
Yes.
Okay, so it's way too cold in here. Today it's barely 70 degrees, and it's 50 degrees in here. Please adjust. Trust us, we understand. Our offices are like meat lockers.
Yes.
But
like we are huddled over space heaters all day long.
Yeah, like Fagin in his trash can with his right.
Yes,
like Oliver Twist style. Okay, nerd joke. Okay, so we understand.
It's just perfectly appropriate right now,
right?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
Fingerless gloves. I'm just so Fagin with fingerless gloves. Okay, so anyway, back to
focus.
It's a big building, right? And as you can imagine, heating and cooling a big building is a complicated affair.
And half of the building is really old, which makes it even more complicated.
Yes. So first off, we do not have control of the thermostat here in the library. Like, there is not one master thermostat that we can go and, adjust. We don't have them.
Because if we did, I would have made it so cozy in here a long time ago.
Yes. Everyone would be dying in the other parts of the library. But there is no master thermostat. So if it's cold, that's something that happens at the university level, and we cannot adjust it. So there is no thermostat to fix. And then secondly, this makes an interesting point that it's barely 70 degrees and it's 50 degrees in the building. When the temperature does get adjusted at the university level, so when the university maintenance people adjust the temperature, it takes a couple days, honestly, for that temperature to get reflected. Temperature change to get reflected.
You described it as moving a ship.
It's like trying to, literally like changing the direction of a frigate. It's gonna take a minute. So the first day that it's cooler, it's often really cold in here because they just adjusted the heating, right? So it takes a minute. So some kind of common sense suggestions, Stephanie, for dealing with the less than hospitable temperatures of the library.
So, because of the laws of physics, the higher you go up in the building, the warmer it gets.
Heat rises.
And if you are on the north side with the windows, it tends to be warmer.
The greenhouse effect?
The greenhouse effect. Look at all the science we're doing today.
Ooh, science.
Also, come prepared. bring a sweater, bring a blanket. Yeah, so we've seen students like huddled up in blankets.
Just come prepared for it, right? We know you can't take off clothes, but we'll try to keep it colder rather than hotter. Sometimes it's just weird, right? We'll do our best. But come prepared, and remember, like Stephanie said, the further up you go, it's warmer, and the more windows you have, the warmer it's going to be. So that's the best we can tell you to do.
We're cold all the time, too, so we totally get it.
We get it, yeah. Okay. This one I'll let Stephanie take.
All right, so this one says, maybe a snack table for big brain hour fuel.
Which, first off, I just want to commend you on your, alliterative...
Beautiful use of the English language right here. Yes,
commend you.
It is
anonymous.
It is a
patron.
Small poem.
I got you.
So we, the PR committee at the Marx Library saw this suggestion, and we're going to take it very seriously. So during finals, we will in fact have a big brain fuel hour table. So the more details about that will be coming soon, but we'll have some snacks for you guys as you study.
Yeah. So thanks whoever made that suggestion.
Yeah, and you gave us an excellent name for it.
Yeah,
too.
I mean it's great. Okay, and then I'll let Stephanie take this one too, because this is PR committee related. This is
okay. So apparently we disappointed somebody with the difficulty of our word searches.
You mean the lack of difficulty?
Oh yes, the lack of difficulty.
He wants mega boss.
This person feels that the word searches we provided during final exams last semester were not difficult enough. So I don't know how.
We were thinking relaxation. You guys were thinking challenge.
Right? Make us work for it.
We were thinking that's something for them to do and chill.
So
you guys
I don't
want
know
mental
how
stimulation.
I'm going to do it, but I will.
Maybe we'll provide some different difficulty
amp
levels.
this up. Well, I provided easy and medium, so I guess I need to
Maybe give a couple hards.
Give a couple hards, yeah.
For those super word searches that want the New York Times level.
And quantity. So I guess they did all 12 that I provided.
Get it, kids. That's maybe how they relax.
We'll see what we can do about the word searches.
Okay, we have a much bigger one here. Unfolded. Okay, so I'll just sum it up. Essentially, a student wrote and said they were a little concerned with some of the donation boxes that we had set up downstairs around the circulation desk, and that we may not be providing donation opportunities for all different types of charitable organizations here in the library. So let's address that concern.
Okay.
First off, several of the donation boxes that we keep in the library circulation kind of commons area, we are not sponsoring those donation drives.
They are donation drives that are sponsored by student organizations.
So fraternities, sororities on campus, clubs, things like that. And so we just give them a place to put their box. But we did realize, however, at one point this semester that we had
too many boxes.
And we're asking students...
It's that giving time of the year.
It's a happy Christmassy time of year. Where we had 3 or 4 different donations going, and we were that is asking a lot of students, and it is kind of overwhelming and whatever. So our amazing director has decided that maximum 2 donation opportunities at a time.
So that said, if you feel like there is a population being neglected, or a charity that really does need some help and you don't see it here, suggest to an organization that they do a drive for that particular group.
And we do try to kind of make sure that different populations are represented in our organizations. Right now we're collecting for the JAG Pantry, which is our university community, supports them. And then I think there's the McKinney Place, which is primarily a women's homeless shelter. But, we do drives for all sorts of stuff. So, again, we're not sponsoring a lot of those drives. They're giving them a place for their box. So keep that in mind. But, again, we want suggestions. So if you have a charity that you really feel like then reach out, right? Okay. So this one, I'll just read it.
Yeah.
Okay. We have one that says, "Get new staff. These people are rude." That may have happened. That may be the case. But what we would say about a comment like this is we want to know when that happens, right? We started this episode live talking about how we want the library to be
welcoming and comfortable,
a space that for everyone, right? Everybody that works here wants that, and so there may be kind of the odd interaction that you may have caught somebody on a weird day or whatever,
or you may have misunderstood miscommunication with the kind of.
But we want to know, we don't want. We want to assume that we can help alleviate the problem.
Right.
And we can't do anything about it when it gets put in like a note, an anonymous note in a box.
So this is a good example of where letting us know what happened and who you are would be really useful.
Yeah, because we want to address that to see what ways we can fix what happened. So it may be better training for us, right? It may be, who knows what the situation can be, but we don't want it to go on.
It might be a matter of like identifying stress in students, because I think sometimes those rude interactions come out of
misinterpretations of conversation. Like I know students sometimes we talked about this when we were preparing for this. Students sometimes I know get frustrated with me when they're at the Learning Commons desk and they're asking for an article, and I ask them 40 questions about like, well, what class is this for? What's your topic? Those sorts of things. And I'm not asking to be complicated or, I guess, obstructive.
Right.
I'm asking because I want to know how best to serve you, right, the student.
Because we want to get you exactly what you need.
And sometimes I will tell the student, this is why I'm asking the question, whatever. So really what we're trying to say for this one is we're sorry this happened. This is not what we want. But we can't do anything about it if
you don't tell us what's going on.
You don't tell us what happened, right? So if this happens to you and you're in the library, you can either send a direct message through our Instagram like we talked about, or we want you to find a librarian in the building. If that means going to the circulation desk and asking to speak to one, if that means coming to Learning Commons or coming to our offices on the second floor.
Yeah, come find us.
Knock on the door and say, like, I would like to talk to a librarian and this is what's happening to me. There will be no, like, well, how dare you talk about our staff. That we
really want to make this the best possible environment for you.
Yes. And if that means owning that I was the grumpy one, then that means owning I was the grumpy one, right? So, okay.
Yeah, everyone gets grumpy sometimes,
Right.
and they might not realize that came across to students. Yeah.
Right. I mean, sometimes I'm socially illiterate, so like, I may be grumpy and not even realize it. Or maybe I just have a face. I just do kind of have that face. So, okay. And then the last one, we'll just finish up on this one.
Yeah. It says, you guys are awesome. 3 exclamation points.
And signed. Which, thank you very much.
Yes,
we appreciate
thank you.
that.
This is what we're striving for.
This is what we're striving for. And that, so those of you who feel that way, thank you. And this is, that takes a whole lot of people working together in one way to make that happen.
Yes, it definitely does.
It's a
And it
giant
comes
organism.
out of that desire to help make this the best place we can.
Yes. So
we've actually gone over it a little bit.
well, yeah, but we really wanted to address
these.
these. So remember, we'll wrap it up, but there are ways for you as a student to make your voice heard, which is, I think, is really important. We're all here, so let's participate.
And you can see that we do read these, and we think about them and what we can do about them.
Yeah, and we should say that we are working, our amazing circulation folks are working on an FAQ, which will take some of these concerns and answer them
on our website.
On a website, so you guys can refer back to them in a way. And it will be kind of a log of all kind of questions, concerns, whatever. So it will be a public space to go back and get those answers, I guess. Right. So that's forthcoming on our website.
Yeah, you should see that coming soon. So thank you guys for what you did submit and for your honesty and your suggestions.
Yeah.
We found them really useful.
For sure. Okay, so do your spiel.
All right, let's wrap it up right before Thanksgiving.
Yes.
Right, so you're already following us on Instagram, following us.
Yeah.
It's a long week. You're already following us on Instagram. Get your friends to do the same. We also have Facebook and Twitter, and we are about to start promoting our finals chill out.
Big brain food hour.
Big brain fuel hour. So look for that stuff. We're going to have some pretty cool things happening.
Yeah, lots of cool things happening during finals week. So the PR committee's been hard at work trying to make y'all's finals experience a little less terrible.
Right.
Maybe even a bit fun if possible.
We could try.
Yeah. Oh, we got a thumbs up. Yay.
Good.
So make sure you're following us on Instagram. And if you insist upon following us in a different way, you can follow us on
Facebook, and we do have a Twitter. But
whatever. Yeah. And you'll also be
I know.
You'll also be reposting other things that are happening on campus during finals week as well.
Yeah.
So maybe follow us as kind of the clearinghouse.
So the Marx Library Instagram is
clearinghouse.
The clearinghouse
of all awesomeness. All of the awesomeness on Instagram.
It.
We'll maybe post some round seals and make it even better. Be the best. Round boys. Okay. Round boys. I mean, come on.
I like it.
Okay, guys. Well, so we will see you guys one last time, right?
Next week.
And
then we're going to let you go for finals.
Yes.
Because the last thing you need
is us in your life during finals week. But you guys have a wonderful break. Try to relax a little bit and prepare yourselves, sleep, and get ready.
Yep. Rest up. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.